Hello and welcome. My name is Daniel Martinez Stahl. This podcast is a very loose, very casual, very raw conversation. I don't know where it's going to be going. I don't know what I'm going to be sharing. I don't know anything about how it's going to develop. And it's not going to be edited. It's not going to have fancy artwork or edited audio or anything of that nature. It's just going to be simple videos of me sharing my journey with you, talking about what it's like to be a caregiver for my mother, who is 90 years old. I've been with her since 2016 as her primary caregiver. And my spiritual understanding and the things that I play with and explore in my own journey have been very helpful along this path. And a friend of mine and a channel that speaks through her suggested that I write a book on my journey about being a caregiver. And honestly, that subject as a book isn't really that inspiring for me. However, I thought I could create a video podcast to share my thoughts and share my ideas and see where it goes. And hopefully someone along the way might find it and benefit from what I have to share. And so welcome. I'm honored. I'm honored to be part of your journey, and it's an honor to have you be part of mine. What else can I tell you? Well, I'll tell you a lot more as time goes on about me. I play and explore in spiritual dimensions. I am a spiritual development coach. I facilitate spiritual journeys similar to past lives, in between lives, and alternate lives, things like that. I have a project called Spirit with Love. And I don't know what else to tell you. The artwork behind me is the photography behind me is my own. I'm a amateur photographer. I have been since my teen years. And so that's another part of my journey, is exploring and really appreciating the beauty of this incredible planet and the challenge of capturing that beauty on film or through a camera, through a viewfinder. It's been a lot of fun. It continues to be. I've lived in Europe from Guatemala, grew up in the States most of my life, lived in Asia as well. And I've been back in the States, like I say, since 2016 to help care for my mother. My intention was to go back to the corporate world and help out in the evenings and weekends. And the first week that I was here, she had a operation on her foot for something. It was a bad suggestion from the doctor that she was seeing, the podiatrist she was seeing. She asked me my opinion at the time, and I didn't know anything about what had been said, why she was doing it. And so we talked a little bit about why she was doing it and what the doctor said. And I just told her that I wasn't sure, and for her to follow her own intuition. And in retrospect, I should have learned more about what was happening, because it proved to be not only unhelpful, but it opened up other issues that went on for about 6 to 8 months. And so very quickly, I realized that I wasn't going to be able to go back to the corporate world. And so my mother was living at my sister's at the time. And so I moved in to the basement as well. And I started taking care of my mother. I was there for her at the middle of the night if she needed something. If she broke a glass, if she dropped something, I was the one that was there to help clean it up. I did all of her shopping. I would drive her to all of her doctor's appointments. And I started working as a waiter in the evenings and weekends so that I could make some money and still help out my mother during the day, which is when she needed most of her help with regards to the doctor's appointments and things. When COVID hit in 2020, I could no longer work in restaurants as they all shut down for a short period of time. My mother is, because of her conditions, is very sensitive. And so I became very careful with what I did out in public, who I saw. I would always go out with masks, still am going out with mask everywhere I go. I'm always wearing a mask. Though COVID is no longer a big issue these days, my mother is still very afraid of the whole COVID issue. And so I try and manage her mental well-being by accommodating her fear, if you will, of COVID. So there's certain battles that I'm willing to challenge her with or challenge her on to get her to improve the quality of her life. I've had conversations with her about how COVID is no longer a death threat, and she still insists on being very careful. And so I'm honoring that as best as I can. I dance Argentine tango, and I've been in contact with some of my friends since COVID started, and they ask me when I'm going to come back. And I always say, when my mother decides to transition, that's when I'll be able to go back to dancing tango. Being in an environment in very close proximity with others is something that I'm just not willing to risk, even though, like I say, I know that COVID isn't a big issue. And so these are choices that I'm making. My social network is all online. I have friends around the world. We connect via Zoom calls. I'm a member of a couple different communities where we listen to recordings and get together as a community and chat. And I've got my own projects. Like I said, Spirit with Love Project is one of the things that I do, and building my online presence. I'm not a big social media person, so building my online presence hasn't been as successful as I would have liked. But my focus has really been my mother. And there's a lot more that I'll share with you guys about myself and my journey along the way. Dragon. Sorry. Dragon is one of my guardians, my spiritual guardians. And so I got this little dragon to represent my guardian. And there's a little butterfly that accompanies the dragon. I had a guided meditation with Sarah Landon, one of the people that I listened to, and a member of her community. And I'll talk a lot about her and what I've learned through her work. She channels the council, and I love their messaging. I love the way they present things. And so anyway, I was in a course with Sarah, and she did a guided meditation. And at the end of the guided meditation, a butterfly appeared in my vision. And it represented my own journey, of course, my own transformation, the support of butterfly energy in my own journey and transformation. And so the next day I went out and got this little guy. They're kind of facing the wrong way. I forgot to fix them before I started the recording, but I try and put them there all the time. I've got a little aloe vera plant. Where is it? Here we go. I've got a little aloe vera plant. She's a new addition to my family. I have also a violet, which unfortunately kind of broke off. The leaf cluster broke off the stem, and the root ball hasn't grown back any new leaves, even though I keep on watering it periodically. It's been over a month, so I'm not sure if that will ever come back. The leaves are still surviving. I've planted them into dirt, and I keep on watching them. They're still alive. They're a little wilted, but they're still there. So I'm hopeful that she will recover. She has been a valued companion for years with me on this journey, and so I'm really hoping she'll come back. And it'll be fun to show you her thriving again, hopefully one day soon. I've got a bunch of gemstones on my desk. I play with gemstones. I've got probably 70. I lost count a while ago. I last I counted was 60. I'm sure I've got over 70 now. And they all laid out on my desk in between things. And I'm periodically grabbing things. I'm just kind of drawn to pick up a particular stone, and I'll just hold it in my hand while I'm talking or while I'm working or while I'm sharing information. I haven't developed my innate abilities to be able to understand conclusively why the stone wanted to be part of the conversation right now, or why this one is calling my name to pick up and hold now, and why this one decides to kind of join us next. I can't tell you why they do. I've learned enough in my own journey to recognize that my intuition will guide me towards their interests, their requests, their needs, their wants, and their desires, and I honor that as best as I can. So they're part of my divine playmate community, my co-creators, and they're part of your support as well. As you're listening to me in the work that you do, they help me to do what I do, and they will connect with you as well energetically. This is how energy works. And so my myriad of co-creators and gemstones are here for you as well. They're not just part of my journey. I'm a channel, learning to channel, as I like to say. I'm in a bit of a hiatus as my channeling is evolving into a new format, and I'm still trying to find my way through that. I had a virtual summit, which I entitled the Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit, and I ran it for 8 seasons, 2 years. Every 3 months, I would get together with 11 other speakers, and we would have an hour and a half long conversation about whatever their spirit team wanted to share. And I channeled during each of those seasons myself. The recordings of those are available as someone in my membership community. So my members community have instant access to all the recordings of CSVS, Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit. I may decide to eventually make them public through the Spirit with Love podcast. I haven't decided that. I'll eventually offer virtual summits through Spirit with Love, and I'm also interested in doing virtual webinars, like a webinar series, which would have a slightly different structure than a virtual summit, but would also be interactive, and it would be a paid-for event. I haven't figured out the details of that yet. The Spirit with Love project is still very new. It's still getting off the ground, so to speak. But the Spirit with Love project also has free masterclasses and courses available. So check out the website, spiritwithlove.com. You can sign up. I've got a free course. It's a spiritual development course. It's a spiritual understanding. What did I call it? I don't remember what I called it. My mind went blank. Anyway, it's a spiritual development mini series. It's free. It's 6 sessions, anywhere from 90 to 120-minute sessions, where I talk about all kinds of subjects and topics with regards to the core issues and the core ideas that I feel are most helpful and relevant to somebody on their own spiritual journey. Have it be someone that's new or someone that is just looking to develop a richer understanding of their own journey and their own expansion. So again, check that out, spiritwithlove.com. Happy to get your feedback, and if you want to offer a testimonial, that would be awesome too. So I'm going to try and keep these short, kind of 15 minutes or so, and we just kind of went over the 15-minute mark. I'm recording these on YouTube Live. At some point, I might be doing these lives with anticipation, and so people can join live and ask questions and interact with me as that develops, as the audience for this develops. We will see. I will likely create a subscription list or a registration list for people that are interested in this particular podcast, so that I can inform you of any upcoming things and any new episodes that I've created. I know you can subscribe and like to my channel, but I don't like the way YouTube communicates new postings to people. I never get them in the way that I've got my computer set up, my system set up. So I'm still a big fan of the email subscription. My little bear, sorry, this little guy, he's been with me since I was in college, and so his name is Bear. He has been with me a long time, so it's an honor to have him in my journey as well. My primary animal guides are bear, a grizzly bear, an eagle. I tend to have the feeling that it's a golden eagle, though I have a lot of energy with hawk energy as well, and primarily wolves. Wolf has been my animal guide since I was young, well before the wolves became a popular animal totem for trinkets and little doodads and things. But anyway, so wolf energy, bear energy, and eagle or hawk are kind of my primaries. And then I've got a ton of other animals on my shelves up here, which you can't really see in the way that I've got my video cropped. I've got a number of stuffed animals as well. So anyway, I will leave you guys for now. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that this series becomes helpful for you. I am going to be talking about all kinds of things that I find helpful along my journey. I will vent about my challenges and my downs when I'm not feeling at my best. I will share with you when I am feeling that and what I'm doing to help me maintain a semblance of peace of mind throughout. And so I'll talk about all of this with you guys and share with you what I do, how I do it, how it relates to my own journey, the things that I'm learning from this process, things that I am challenging myself with throughout this process. So how I am utilizing this process for my own growth, and various things like that. So anyway, we're approaching the 20-minute mark soon, and so I will leave you guys. As always, I'll leave you with being spirit, being human, and simply being from love. Thank you again, and if you're interested in learning more about me, dms.lol. Lots of love, even though people use it as laughing out loud. I always thought LOL was lots of love for years until somebody told me that I was misusing it. This was decades ago, but nonetheless. So dms.lol, check it out. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you want to work with me or play with me or whatever. So I will leave you and love you. Take care. Bye-bye.